Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm gonna try and do, I think, a really interesting video here, uh, comparing Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini. What we're gonna talk about is Connor Bedard's expectations when his cards were released and the reality, and Macklin Celebrini's expectations when his cards were released and his reality. So it's so interesting to me the hype around this card when it was released. This is a PSA 9. I actually have a really funny story about my Bedards. I had 3 of these at one point. So when these came out, the box prices were insane. The average price usually for a box of flagship is around like 130, 120, probably more like 140 now. I think these were going for like 120 at the time. But the Bedard release pushed the price of these boxes up to 300 plus, and it was really crazy. And they sit on shelves now, like they're still there. Like my local LCS has several of them, and they have them. They're priced at $200, which is still significantly above price of normal boxes. And a lot of it was over the hype of what this kid was going to be. He's the next Connor McDavid. He's the next whatever you want to the next great player. Um, this is from his Allure set. So Allure and O-Pee-Chee were the first rookie cards for Bedard, so they went pretty crazy. Like even right now, O-Pee-Chee box of 23-24 is over $100, and that's normally a $65-$70 product, and it's now well over $100, which is ridiculous to me. And like again, my LCS has a bunch of them sitting on the shelves, and they shouldn't be there. They should be gone. They should be sold. And then this was an Allure, and Allure went crazy. And this card's probably like $70 now, 60, $70, and it's a PSA 10, maybe a little more. I haven't looked at the pricing on this in a while. It's not a big deal. So like the hype of the releases was crazy. Like Allure kept their pricing pretty much the same. It was a little more expensive, but not enough. So they sold really well. You can't find an Allure box anywhere. You can't find a hobby box. You can't find a retail box. Like they don't exist. So it's crazy when you look at the hype of Bedard and what the expectation was. And he hasn't delivered yet. He's been good. He's been very good, but he hasn't been what we thought he was going to be. He hasn't scored 40 goals. He hasn't, I don't think he's scored 30 yet. Like he should do that this year. But like it's so crazy what we all expected Bedard to do in relation to what has actually happened with that. And I see people complain all the time on Facebook groups and YouTube that like, oh, Bedard ruined the game. No, he didn't. The hockey hobby is still strong compared, you compare it to the other sports. Hockey's the baby, like even to soccer to some extent. Like the box prices are so, much less than anything else. Like I was sitting at the hobby shop yesterday, ripping some O-Pee-Chee and 25-26 O-Pee-Chee and 25-26 Allure, and literally there was people in there buying football, basketball, and baseball, paying 2 and 3x what I was. So hockey's always, the lesser of the sports, so to speak. But I don't care. I still love it. I love the pictures, I love the photos. But then we look at the Bedard hype and shift to the Celebrini reality. So Celebrini comes out, and these are both Series 2 releases, a year apart, and his boxes are normal price, 120, 130, maybe 140. They're not crazy, like the normal release. In fact, I got this out of a retail blaster. Like I bought this at a Target or a Walmart, and is how I got mine. I bought some boxes. I just didn't hit him. I hit, the other rookies and stuff like that. It's Lane Hudson back there. Was from Series 1. But now this card is going for more than this one is graded. This is a 9, so yes, it's a little less than it would be a 10. This card's going for between 375 and 450. This is 325, maybe. It very much so depends. And if I teased earlier, I have a story about my Bedards, and I'll get to that toward the end. If you stick around, it's pretty good on how I got this card. I think everyone will really enjoy it. It's fun. Anyway, let's kind of get back to the Celebrini now. When you look at his retail stuff, I'm sorry, his hobby boxes, you can't find them. And if you can find them, they're $400. Like my LCSs haven't had one for a while, and they're crazy compared to the Bedard release where there's 8 or 10 boxes at each of my stores. They want $200 for them. Nobody wants to chase the Bedard. But if you bring in a box of Series 2 from Celebrini's release year, they're gone. Even at $425, because people are chasing Macklin Celebrini cards. I actually just sold a lot on eBay of 10 cards for like $60 and, cheaper base cards, but, still. This is a Pond Hockey out of a Peachy Platinum. I got this off of ePack actually, and this is $600 card. And Pond Hockeys are pretty good. They're really rare. They're hard to hit. They're cool cards. Bedard's Pond Hockey, I think, sells really well too. So there's not really much of a comparison there, but Celebrini compared to Bedard is drastically different. Celebrini is going to be the second player in NHL history to score 120 points in a season as a teenager. We'll put in the comments below who was the other. I'm not going to reveal the answer. I know the answer. Who was the other teenager to score 120 points in a season? Don't cheat. Don't use Google. You can figure it out. If you know the answer, you should know the answer. It's pretty easy. So the Bedard hype versus the Celebrini reality. To me, there's more value here than here. However, this is our next Crosby Ovi. These two guys are going to spend the next 20 years being the face of the NHL. And yeah, I know there's younger players that are going to come in. There's Gavin McKenna is going to come in. I don't think he's going to be Celebrini Bedard. There's young players. There's a couple Russian players that are going to be coming over in the next couple of years that are going to be really good. I don't think that they're going to be the end all be all. You look at Montreal, they've got Ivan Demidov. He's going to be great. He's going to be really good. His cards have high value. A lot of these young players are driving value to hockey right now, which is great. So if you bought in on the hype train for Bedard and didn't stick around for the reality of Celebrini, that stinks. I'm sorry. I wish you had been able to do that. But if you jumped in on the hype train of Bedard, bought those cards, and thought, I'm going to be rich in 20 years, maybe not. Look at Ovi Young Guns and Crosby Young Guns. You're going to make some money. Hopefully these will do that. Hopefully in 20 years, these will be those cards that are sought after and extremely expensive. There's a lot more of these than there were those guys. Crosby and Ovi Young Guns are much more rare. This is one of the most graded cards on the freaking planet. I have not checked the grading on Celebrini, so I don't know how many he has compared to Bedard's. But, when you listen to like Hockey Cards Gong Show, they were doing the pop count for the longest time on the Bedard Young Guns because it was so heavily graded. And again, that doesn't even hold a candle to like Victor Wynn, Benyama, and even Pokemon cards in some extent. So, but to me, there's more value in this kid than there is in Bedard. Unless they put some more tools around Bedard. Don't get me wrong, they're both fun to watch. They're both phenomenal hockey players. And I think you win if you decide to invest in either one of them. I have a lot of both of their cards. So figure out who you want to invest in, if that's what you want to call it, or heck, just collect. Don't worry about making money on it. Just collect what you want to collect. So if you know the answer to the trivia question that I just threw out there, who's the other 19-year-old to score 120 points in a season, go ahead and ask that. And then my story for my Bedards, it's a lot of fun. I didn't want to buy hobby boxes. I bought some retail blasters. Oh, no, that's right. I didn't buy any retail blasters because I couldn't find any because they just didn't exist in stores. So I went to a Pure Hockey to get some hockey gear, and I happened to see that they had gravity hangers of Bedard's release. And I was like, oh, so I grabbed 10 packs. And I'm sorry, 12 packs. And I went out to my car and I ripped those 12 packs. And in those 12 packs, I pulled the checklist, Young Guns, and one of the inserts. And I instantly was like, you know what? I'm going to go back in and grab some more packs. So I went back in and I grabbed 11 packs. and I decided I was going to come home and rip them. I didn't want to rip them in my car. Well, as I was going to check out, I dropped a pack, and I'm like, oh, and I felt bad. So I picked that pack up and I bought that pack too, because I didn't, if it was damaged, I would have felt bad for somebody. Yes, I'm that honest. So I bought another 12 packs, 12 or 13. I can't remember exactly. Came home and I ripped them. And in ripping those packs, I pulled 2 Connor Bedards, including the pack that I dropped had a Connor Bedard Young Gun in it. Corner was damaged, so that kind of stunk. But so 2 out of 25 packs, which is insane. I went to go back the next day and they were sold out, which stunk. But I went to their website and they still had some on their website. So I ordered 10 more packs. Of the 10 packs, I pulled another Connor Bedard Young Gun. So in like 30 to 40 packs, I don't remember the exact number, I pulled 3 Connor Bedard Young Guns. I have not bought any more of that product. I haven't bought any more of Series 2 in any way, shape, or form. I sent them off and got graded. I got an 8 and 2 9s. I've since sold the 8 and the 9. I've kept this 9 for myself. So that's my Connor Bedard Young Gun story. I just think it's kind of a fun one. So what are your thoughts? Put in the comments below. Bedard or Celebrini, who are you going to invest in for long term? Or heck, who do you just collect? Hey, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try and do more videos like this. I'm going to do more rips, more breaks. I'm going to start doing giveaways when I hit 500 subscribers. So if you're not in the subscriber base, you won't be able to get a chance to win. So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, see you.